was definitely more of a print model because I'm right at 5'8". So I wasn't super tall to do a lot of runway. I did do some runway. I love runway, but I was no like Chanel Iman, you know? So I did a lot of print work though. I did like a lot of commercial work. Like I did a McDonald's commercial. I did Ross, TJ Maxx, like all that kind of stuff, Target. I did a lot of that print and commercial work. And it went really well for me as far as like being able to book some commercials and things like that, because those were actually the things that made more money than runway anyway. So that worked out really well for me, but that was more my primary focus, like the commercials and the print. So I did a lot of stuff like, again, Target, Ross, TJ Maxx, McDonald's, all of that kind of stuff was more like my niche.
Sounds like you absolutely crushed it when you were younger, and obviously you are currently a businesswoman now. We will be talking all about your cosmetic line shortly. Guys, please stay with us. You are now listening to Ashley Peterson. She's an NFL wife. She's married to NFL star Adrian Peterson, and she's an entrepreneur, mom. She wears many hats. They are heavily involved with charity locally and both back home, so please stay tuned. I'm your host, Brittany Baldi of the BosBabes. Please subscribe to us both on iTunes and Spotify. We're going to hop right back into it with Mrs. Ashley Peterson. So we've already discussed a little bit about how you guys met, of course, in college. I want to hear a little bit more about traveling together as a family. How did he propose? Obviously, you guys had been long-term friends. How did Adrian propose to you? And do you have any fun wedding stories to share with us?
Actually, that whole situation is really funny. So he proposed in Oklahoma in front of my family. So we were back home in Oklahoma. He actually proposed on the 4th of July. So super, you know, sentimental. 4th of July. I'm a big holiday person. So I love holidays. I, you know, celebrate them. We do our thing on holidays. And 4th of July is another one of our favorite holidays. So it's like Christmas, then Thanksgiving, then 4th of July. That's probably how our holidays go. And we do it really big, especially with my family in Oklahoma. Like every year we would get together and be at, you know, granny's or some aunt's house or travel around, because all of my family, again, is still like in that Muskogee area, most of my family. So we would all get together and just like all day, fireworks and food, you know? And so we had actually traveled back to Oklahoma to go celebrate the 4th with my family. And that is when he proposed.
I absolutely love that he incorporated both your family and holidays, because obviously it sounds like holidays are very special to you, especially with the fact that you love to get glammed and hang out with the family and the cooking. I think that is such a sweet proposal story. Do you have any fun wedding memories? Like, where did you guys get married? Did you guys go anywhere cool for your honeymoon?
Yes. So actually, he proposed on the 4th, and we were going to be there for like a few days because my dad's birthday is actually on the 6th of July. So we were there, and I don't remember how long we stayed, but he proposed on the 4th of July. We did our whole family thing on the 4th of July. We were there for probably a few days. And then we went back to Houston where we were living, and the season was about to start. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not going into another football season unmarried. So we're choosing a date before training camp starts. So we ended up getting married like 2 weeks after he proposed to me. So he proposed. We set our wedding date, which was the 19th of July. And my cousin is actually a wedding and event planner. She planned our wedding literally in like a week. I said, hey, I'm getting married next Saturday and you're planning it. and she got it done. And it was actually at our house. We had like a big house in Houston, and we had like 10 acres of land. And so we actually did it right in our backyard. So we didn't have to go through like finding a venue and all of that. We did it in our backyard. All of like our close family and friends were there. We did not have a large wedding. It was probably like 40 people total, which was like, it was so amazing because we were actually able to like enjoy our wedding, enjoy our day, enjoy our family. The only thing I kind of regret is there was like, I wish I could have had a little bit more family there, because both of us have like really huge families. So that was a little unfortunate with it being so last minute and with us trying to just like keep it small, because actually it was our plan to have one wedding and then follow up with another ceremony later. But it was just kind of like, okay, well, we're already married, and everything was just kind of like, we really enjoyed our wedding day. And so I never really made it a priority to go back and have that like huge reception that we were planning to have. But so that's my only regret, is that I wish I'd been able to invite a little bit more of my family. However, at that time, our plan was to have a whole nother ceremony and invite everyone at that time. But I think it was perfect. It was so perfect. We had everyone we, really, really loved there. Both of our grandmothers were able to make it. Of course, our parents and all that, our siblings. So we had Mickey's Soul Food cater the reception. That's my favorite soul food restaurant in Houston. And I told my cousin, I said, I don't care whatever else we have going on, I want to have good food. That was what's most important to me. And so they catered our reception. It was amazing. And then my son, his birthday is August 1st. So we also had a little birthday cake there for him because he was turning 3. My oldest son, he was turning 3 at the time. And so we had a little birthday cake for him. So it was just a perfect day.
I am so happy that I asked that question. I think it's super cool that he proposed and you were able to whip together what sounds like an incredible wedding, only 2 weeks notice basically. But I totally love the fact that you took the reins and were like, babe, we've been together forever. I know you just proposed. I also know that football training camp is about to start up again and I don't want to wait another year. So I think it's super cool that your family kind of came together. You guys put together what sounds like a stunning wedding, do everything together and kind of celebrate engagement, wedding, your son's birthday, all in one.
Yeah, I got really lucky having a cousin. She's more like a sister to me. So I got really lucky there having an in-house planner.
Let's hop right into it. We've been talking and poking the bear about the fact that you love makeup, you are a model, or you still do model, you are a businesswoman. Elizabella Cosmetics, you launched this makeup line and it's cruelty-free makeup, gorgeous lipsticks, lip liners. Let's discuss all about Elizabella Cosmetics, why you started it, why you named it that, and yeah, let's discuss this amazing makeup line.
Thank you so much. So I started it in 2018, November 8th, 2018 was actually my launch date. It had been something that literally since I was a little girl, I had always, had this dream, wanted to do that. I always was very goal oriented. So I knew I wanted to model. I knew I wanted a cosmetics company. I had all these things that I knew that I wanted for my life. And I've known those things since I was a young girl. So luckily, thank God, I've been blessed to be able to follow along the path that, that I wanted and been able to realize a lot of my dreams. But I always knew that that was something that I wanted. Again, my mom sold Mary Kay for a while. So that kind of gave me a inside look at running a beauty business, if you will, because essentially you're running your own situation with that. And, just kind of being raised with my mom, she's a very strong woman, very educated. She was always pushing herself. So that really affected me as well. Finally, in 2018, because I modeled again, for all those years, then I stopped and I took a break to have my kids. And, I was a stay-at-home mom and a wife and all of that. And it was so wonderful. I was, so happy to be able to have that time with my kids. But then in around that 2018 time, when my youngest son was getting a little bit older, a little bit more independent, I just, really wanted to try to find something for myself again. I just kind of began to feel like I was losing myself. And, well, you don't have kids yet, but when you do have kids, it's everything is all about your kids and, all about your husband. And especially being in this NFL life and NFL wife capacity, you just have to give so much of yourself for everyone else around you. I just kind of felt like I began to lose myself. And so I began to really evaluate my dreams and my goals again and, revisited having my own cosmetics company. And I'll never forget, I was actually talking to this woman on the phone and I was like, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. And, I don't know where to begin. And she was like, just do it. Just start. What is holding you back? What is stopping you? And I thought, you know what? That's a really good way to think of it. So I literally just that day turned the switch on and was like, okay, I'm starting this company. And from that day on, that was my mindset, And so I worked on it for quite some time and ended up launching. I was going to launch a little bit later, actually, than November 8th, but I had an opportunity to be a vendor at a live podcast. And that kind of pushed me, pushed me even further. I had done a soft launch like the week before, and I decided, okay, we're going to launch this. We're doing this today. So November 8th, I launched, and I actually did Monique Samuel's live podcast. I was like a vendor there. So that kind of pushed me to launch a little bit sooner, but I think that's a good thing because we sometimes let fear and our own like head get in the way. So that kind of forced me to just like jump into it and launch on that day. And it's been a journey. It's been quite a journey. It's given me a lot of opportunities that I otherwise would not have had. I've had the opportunity to speak with a lot of women, speak with a lot of young girls, and also use this platform to help other women to realize their dreams and to go after their dreams. So I think that's even a bigger picture to my purpose. I definitely think that starting my company was a huge part and is a huge part of my purpose. But I feel like an even larger part of my purpose is helping other women to find that inside of them.
I love how you are using your journey to inspire others. And I love how another woman that it seems like she was very motivating to you. Hey, you know what? What's stopping you from starting your own business? Just do it. So I love that it was almost like the domino effect. You had one inspirational woman tell you, Ashley, just do it. And now here you are trying to inspire others. Why did you come up with such a cool creative name? Is that a family name? Where does the name Elizabella Cosmetics come from?
Yeah, so actually my middle name is Elizabeth. And then if I had a little girl, I wanted her middle name to be Isabella because Elizabeth is a family name. So my great grandma, her name was Elizabeth, and she was the matriarch of our family. She had 23 kids. So 15 were natural and 8 were stepchildren. But she raised 23 kids, and she is like, mother hen, or was mother hen before she passed away. And so, she was a business owner as well. She was, a wife, a mother, just like every woman, And so we actually have quite a few girls in my family, either named Elizabeth or their middle name is Elizabeth, and I'm one of them. And I think I was her favorite too. But that is where that came from. So I wanted to combine my middle name, Elizabeth, with what would have been my daughter's middle name had I had one, Isabella, and I combined those to make Elizabella.
Very pretty. I do like the name. And if you and Adrian decide to have another child and you have a girl, I guess you can maybe name her Elizabella and you have both names combined, which I think would be super cute. Let's talk about some of your current products. I know that you are well known for your lipsticks and lip liners. Do you have a favorite color or a couple of favorite colors that you enjoy wearing yourself? What are some of your top sellers currently?
Absolutely. So we have a wide range of products from all for lips. So I like to say it's like a high-end lip bar. The products are amazing. The formulas are amazing, very creamy, very hydrating, very moisturizing, which is what I love. I wanted to focus on lips with Elizabella because, as I stated earlier, I really do not have time to do my makeup like that or to get fully glammed every day. That's just not my real life. And so although I love getting glam when I have the opportunity, on a normal everyday basis, I might do, I always have my lashes done. So I'm all about lashes and I'm all about lips, and I always have been. So I may not have a ton of eyeshadow or face makeup, but I'm going to have some lashes and I'm going to have some lips, especially a red lipstick, because I love high intensity colors. I love highly pigmented colors and formulas. That's something that has always been a love for me, and being able to model and being able to try out different looks all the time. I just love how transforming the outer appearance can also help to just make you feel so good on the inside. I think it's all about inner and outer beauty. It's all about those complementing each other. And so I really love just being able to share that with other women, especially when I went to trade shows or things like that. Just seeing women and how they responded to different lip colors and how good it made them feel. That is for me like the best feeling. But we have lip tracers, we have liquid velvet lipsticks, we have what I call diamond lavas, which they're like a baby between a liquid velvet lipstick because they have the high pigment of a liquid velvet lipstick, but they also have the high shine of a lip polish. So those are like the best of both worlds. And then we also have lip glosses, which we call lip polish. So we have a full assortment of different colors to choose from. We have lots of different nudes. Nudes are very in right now, so everyone's loving the nude colors, the nude liquid velvet lipsticks, and the lip glosses to go over them. We also have a lot of really richly pigmented like reds and berries though, which I think a lot of other companies, you know, may be missing at sometimes. Our red lipstick formula, Bella, is the red lipstick that like anyone can wear. It looks so amazing on anyone I've ever seen it on. I feel like it's the perfect red. So that's definitely our best selling product, Bella. That's like our staple, and what we're known for is that Bella liquid velvet lipstick. It's the most amazing formula and I absolutely love it. I would probably say my favorite nude is one of our newer nudes that just launched in March, and it's called Stark Naked. I'll actually show you right here. Don't mind my nails. I haven't been able to get my nails done because we're on quarantine. But Stark Naked liquid velvet lipstick is actually what I have on right now. My absolute favorite nude. I feel like you can put it on with a darker lip tracer and it'll, you know, go darker if you're looking for a little bit of a darker nude. But if you want that nude look, it looks good with a lighter lip tracer as well. I actually have it on right now with walnut lip tracer, which is you can't really see it that well on the camera, the color, but it's a little bit of a darker brown lip tracer. And then I also put Foxy lip polish over it. I'm trying to do it where the camera can see it. Foxy lip polish is like a gold toned lip polish, and it has an opaque finish, so it still allows you to see the actual color of the lipstick while adding on that glossy coat. So this is probably my favorite nude lip collection combo, would be the lip tracer and walnut, liquid velvet lipstick and Stark Naked, and then the Foxy lip polish. That's probably my favorite nude combo. And then Bella and Rubus are my favorite colors to make a beautiful red lip.
Incredible. I love that you started your own makeup line. You are a great businesswoman. I'm a big nude lip color person myself, so I do appreciate the nudes. I might have to go and get a little lip set myself. Obviously, guys, it is the Christmas holiday season. Birthdays are coming up. Where can people order your amazing items? Do they DM you? Do you have a website set up? Where can people find Elizabella Cosmetics if they want to purchase for themselves, for a girlfriend, for a mom, the upcoming holiday season?
Absolutely. So we do have a website, elizabellacosmetics.com. So it's ELIZABELLA cosmetics.com, and you can buy all your lippies on there. We also have glam kits already set up for you, so it takes the guesswork out of, oh, which lip tracer will go well with the lipstick. We have glam kits that are already put together, and I'm actually going to be adding more to the site within the coming weeks, so stay on the lookout for that. Again, elizabellacosmetics.com, and on Instagram we are at Elizabella Cosmetics.
Absolutely amazing. You guys are now listening to Mrs. Ashley Peterson. She is an NFL wife, entrepreneur, and mom. Stay tuned. We are going to be speaking a little bit more about family, her kids, a little bit about their charity, because her and Adrian are highly involved within the community. They have an Adrian and Ashley Peterson Foundation. Next up, we are going to be talking all about your family, your kids. I know we've already talked about your sons a little bit. Do your sons have any intention of playing football or any other type of sport? What do you and Adrian like to instill in your kids as far as being great people in the future?
Absolutely. So my oldest son, he already, like, if you ask him what he's going to be when he gets older, he says he's going to be a football player. So that's already in his mind. Mommy has tried to steer him in a different direction. I'm going for baseball or basketball, golf, anything but football, just because I see, you know, the wear and tear on your body. And I just see, you know, all of the things that people don't necessarily think about with football. And so I've been trying to steer him, you know, towards basketball or baseball if he wants to play a sport and be an athlete, but he loves football. Football's in his blood. So right now, that's where he is in life. He wants to be a football player when he gets older. Of course, he wants to be a running back, but I'm trying to also kind of like get him to venture out. He has really good hands, so he can catch the ball really well. He actually has a good arm, so he can throw really well. He played like every position. He played safety and all that when he was playing in Texas. So he's very athletic. And, you know, honestly, whatever he wants to do as far as being an athlete, I think he'll definitely be able to do it. I'm trying to push him to a different direction, a different sport, you know, that's a little easier on the body. So my youngest son, he loves football and he loves sports, but I think he's just so young. He just turned 5 a couple of months ago. So he's not, you know, he's just playing right now. But my oldest is very serious about football. So I think that's definitely the direction that they'll go in. And we just try to teach them, you know, of course, to keep their academics first, you know, which luckily, thank God, they're good kids. My oldest is a really great kid and a great student. So he keeps his grades up and, you know, try to teach them just about how to treat people as well. You know, the most important things in life. And then, of course, everything else will fall in line after that. We allow him to do all sports, though. So he does football. He's done baseball, basketball. I think the only actual sport he hasn't tried that I would like him to try is track. He doesn't like running that much, but he's extremely fast. So I'm hoping he gets into track one day because his dad actually ran track as well and was really fast, of course. I'm hoping he gets into that one day. But we've been really blessed with amazing kids. They're just so thoughtful, so generous, just great kids, very polite, very respectful. And that's just kind of what we've been trying to instill in them as we're raising them, like being respectful, being good people, because that's, you know, what matters most.
It sounds like you and Adrian are doing an excellent job at teaching your kids life skills that they can obviously use now and when they grow up. I also like that you are trying to tell them, like, hey, I know daddy plays football and I know you want to take his footsteps down the road, but there are other options. You don't have to do the sport because it can be taxing on your body, which leads to my next point. Actually, my boyfriend wanted me to ask this question in particular because he has dealt with some situations in the past. He's had teammates that have dealt with injuries and whatnot. But Adrian actually tore his ACL and MCL in 2011. He came back and won the MVP the following season. So what was his mindset away from the field during his rehab process? And how did you guys come together as a family and rally behind him?
The basic answer is his mindset. Like, in his mind, it never for a moment entered his mind that he wasn't going to play again. Not even for a second. Like, he immediately, after having surgery, because, you know, he had to get surgery and all that, he immediately, as soon as the doctors okayed it, began rehab, began working out again. And I'll never forget, that's definitely the hardest I've ever seen him work out. He was doing 2 and 3 a day workouts. We had hired a chef to make sure he was getting like all of the calories that he needed and, you know, just maintaining his weight and also cooking healthy meals because I don't necessarily cook the healthiest. So cooking healthy meals for him. But it was his mindset. He immediately just flipped that switch and was like, I'm coming back and I'm going to come back better than ever. So I would say that is the biggest thing. And that's what so many people, like, you know, should realize is that your mindset literally determines where you go, you know? So he never for a moment allowed himself to get so down, to, you know, allow himself to question his abilities. He never allowed himself to say, oh, what if I don't do this again? It was never a thought that entered his mind. I don't even think it entered his mind one time. And from there, when he made up in his mind that that's what he was going to do, just like when I made up in my mind that I was starting this cosmetics company, it was happening. When we made up in our minds that that's what was happening, that's what was happening. And there was nothing that was going to stand in the way of that. So I would say that's the biggest takeaway is your mindset. You have to get your mind right. And if you get that mind right, then the body will follow.
I absolutely love that answer. And it goes right along with faith. And I don't know if he did any type of meditation or like deep thinking. It sounds like he literally was just like, okay, I'm injured. I'm going to rehab. I know that I'm going to come back better and stronger than ever. And as you mentioned, the mind is a very, very, very powerful tool. I actually just recently read something on Instagram because I follow a lot of health and wellness pages on Instagram and on Facebook. It's almost like a placebo effect. If you can tell yourself every day, wake up, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get this job. You put all of these thoughts out into the universe that come back at you. And it's like, I truly believe like your mind and your thoughts make up who you are because they motivate your body to be stronger, to get you to work out, to have you reach out to people, to make those emails, to start your business. I'm a big believer in your mind. And I love that your husband and you had that mindset. I like that you guys also took the extra steps of getting the chef and rallying behind him. Do you have any advice for people that are currently listening that might be injured or that might be going through a tough time? How can somebody get through a tough time, whether they're looking for a new job or trying to get a new job or they just lost a loved one? Like, what is some advice that you can give to people that are currently listening to this podcast?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely say, number one, you have your spirituality, like that's your center for me anyway. That's my center. So like anytime I'm feeling off kilter, I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me connect with my Jesus again, because like that's for me, that's my center. And honestly, like with my husband, you asked like about spirituality and like who we had pastors that we were very close with at the time, that we were going through like the process with them as well. And keeping your mind strengthened like that, that's the most important thing. Even like with this quarantine, you know, a lot of people are, I want to say suicide's like the highest rate right now that it's been, at least in quite some time. You know, there's unemployment. There's so many things going on right now. And I can really connect with that because even like being in Texas, it wasn't really closed down for COVID like it is in other places. But being in Michigan, it's, you know, closed down. So we couldn't go to restaurants. I couldn't take my kids to the fun things that we would normally do, like trampoline parks or museums. So we've been like stuck in the house. And I can see how some people would get really down with that, because especially being somewhere cold like this, it's just like, oh God, I just want to get out, you know? So I could see how that would weigh on people's minds in this time, especially if, you know, you're not necessarily comfortable with where you are, with your surroundings, or you're dealing with other things like stress of job loss or income loss or things like that. And I feel like everyone has been so affected by this in one way or the other. And I would say keeping your mind strengthened, trying to, number one, eat well, because that actually has a huge weight on like how you're thinking. Even, you know, if your gut is clear, we have a holistic doctor, a homeopathic doctor that we work with, and he tells us all the time, if your gut's clear, then your mind's clear. And there's actually a lot of truth in that. There's a lot of truth in eating clean, and it helps to keep your mind clean. Meditation. Every morning I read this book called Jesus Calling, and it gives me like my daily devotional. I do my prayer and all that, like literally before I even open my eyes in the morning, I pray, and I kind of just like get my mind and myself positioned and ready for the day, because you never know what the day is going to bring you, but God knows. So I pray, I get my mind right before I even get out of the bed. I read my Jesus Calling. I pray over my family. I pray over my kids. I pray over my husband. And for me, being grounded spiritually, that's like my tether. So anytime my mind starts going crazy, then I feel like I need more Jesus. So I play my gospel music. I listen to my sermons. That for me keeps my mind in the right spot. And if my mind's in the right spot, then everything else comes together. You know, if my mind's in the right spot, then no matter what else is going on, no matter how stressful things might be, I can handle it because I have prepared my mind for that. So in overcoming any obstacle, whether it's injury, whether it's some kind of, you know, mental health thing, because mental health is a real thing. And I feel like that people should understand that you should take it seriously. You know, especially like in the African-American community, it's like a really big thing, and it's not something that's really talked about or addressed with us like that. So I think keeping your mental health in a spot, whether that's, you know, with whether you believe in God or whether you're Buddhist or Hindu, whatever, you know, your thing is, stay grounded and focused in that. Try to keep your mind right. Whatever your tether is, make sure you're connected to it, and make sure that your mind, body, and soul can all be well nourished. So make sure that you're reading the things that you need to read. Whatever you put into your body's going to give back to you. So if you're putting trash in your body, whether that's food, the shows you're watching, the music you're listening to, that's what's going to come out of you. So whatever you're putting into you is going to come out of you. So make sure you fill yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit with good things.
I absolutely love all of that incredible advice that you gave to everybody. And it almost sounded like some positive pop, which our show is all about positive pop. And I'm actually going to have you give me a little bit more positive pop towards the end of the show. But you gave some excellent advice about keeping your mind right, staying focused, basically staying in the present, doing your devotionals, doing your meditation, whatever you need to do to keep your mind right and focused. And speaking of being focused and speaking of doing great things within the community, the BosBabes podcast is all about charity and giving back. So Adrian and Ashely, they literally are incredible people. Not only do they kill it on and off the field, him playing professional football, them having a family, Ashely starting her own cosmetics company, which we just spoke about. They actually started their own nonprofit called the Adrian and Ashley Peterson Foundation. So I would love to touch upon this. Your whole mission is made to improve the quality of life through resources and economic development. When did you guys start this, and how exactly do you guys give back? I know that recently you guys have been donating a ton of meals. I've been following it. Donating meals. When Adrian actually gets touchdowns, you guys are donating to the Detroit food banks. And you also recently donated a ton of coats. So let's discuss the Aap Foundation, when you guys started it, and give me some backstory on your mission.
Absolutely. So we started this a few years ago. My husband actually already had a foundation that he had started with his parents when he first entered the league. But, you know, of course, as our relationship progressed, we ended up getting married. We decided that we wanted to be hands-on with it and actually start our own foundation so that we could just be more involved and have things that are really close to our heart. And I wanted to get way more involved as well. So we started our A&A Peterson Family Foundation a few years ago, but we've actually always done things in the community even before that. So, you know, his parents used to do a lot back in Palestine, Texas, where he was from. So, you know, Thanksgiving drives with turkeys, back to school drives with backpacks and school supplies, all of that kind of stuff we've always done. Christmas gifts every year to kids, all of those different things. And, you know, we had the opportunity to start our own, so we decided to do that. And we love to give back to underprivileged communities or underprivileged demographics as much as possible, because we just feel like, you know, they don't have the same resources and sometimes they can be a little forgotten about. So we try to give back in those areas as much as we can. We try to give back also in like STEM education. We're really trying to help implement more STEM programs, especially in lower economic communities. I feel like they don't necessarily have those same opportunities. You know, like my kids actually go to a STEM school. So my 5-year-old, or, you know, just turned 5, he's learning how to code things already. My 9-year-old is learning how to code things. Imagine the opportunities that opens up for them. So it's really our goal to help bring more of that to underprivileged communities as well. But we really try to give back however we can. So we are in Detroit right now. We learned about the Detroit Lions Charter Academy and how a lot of those kids really needed new coats for the winter because it's, you know, of course, very cold here. So we were able to partner with Meijer, which is like a superstore here. And we were also able to partner with Jersey Mike's, and they actually fed the kids. Meijer helped provide coats for us, and the Detroit Lions provided a robot because, you know, the players can't be out and about like that, but they provided a robot that allowed us to virtually be there. So that was really amazing. And we were able to provide coats for over 100 kids. And we're looking to do that as well for the Christmas holiday with a different group of kids, providing them with coats as well. We were able to do the same thing last year in Washington, the last couple of years in Washington, partnering with Target, Old Navy, and Court Furniture, and just all these different amazing partners to make these things possible in the community. Over this past summer, when COVID really hit, it really just touched our hearts. You know, so many people were experiencing food insecurity, which is kind of how we ended up getting involved with this thing this year. We gave $50,000 to Meals on Wheels to provide for the seniors that were stuck in their homes and unable to get food any other kind of way. And then we gave $50,000 to Houston Independent School District because, you know, as you know, a lot of children, especially in that school district, depend on meals from the actual school. They're free meals. So we were able to give to both of those organizations to help at least ease and alleviate some of the, you know, things that people may be going through at that time, wondering where they're even going to eat. And that actually led us to partnering with Athletes Corner this year in Detroit. And we have been able to give, again, like you said, meals away for every Lions touchdown. It's 1,000 meals. For every touchdown my husband gets, it's 2,000 meals. And then for Thanksgiving, we were able to do 100,000 meals, which was just amazing. They showed us, of course, we couldn't be there, so we were there virtually, and they showed us all the food that they had set up. And it was just so much food that they had set up for all of, you know, these people to come get these meals. And it's just really amazing, you know, because we've been so blessed and we don't have to worry about what we're going to eat for dinner, but there's so many people who are having to worry about that, especially right now. So just having the opportunity to do whatever we can to give back to those people has, I mean, filled us with so much joy, so much joy. So we're hoping that we'll even be able to continue that after the football season. That's the hope and that's the goal. But that's what we've been concentrating on this year, especially with COVID and everything, you know, going on with it. Normally we would love to do like programs and things like that. We own a gym in Houston as well called O Athletic. And we were able to work with them and Brothers Produce this summer to give away 300 or 400 meals to kids in the Houston School District at a Title I school there. So we were able to give to those families as well, just basic needs. You don't even realize, you know, how much it affects people just to be able to give them basic necessities. So, you know, it's always a blessing to be able to be a blessing to others.
I love how much both you and your husband are giving back. Do you guys have any upcoming events that people can look forward to? I know with COVID, it's a little bit more difficult to have people go and help out live, but any upcoming events that you guys have coming up in the future? And also, what do you guys have in store for the future of the AAP Foundation? Do you guys plan on like expanding a little bit or putting together specific like Christmas events or football clinics or anything to that nature?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We would love to do that. You know, the goal is to expand this as far as we can get it and honestly help and reach as many people as we can. So we're doing another coat, not a coat drive, but a coat giveaway actually with 110 more kids. We partnered with Old Navy this time and we're able to give coats to 110 more kids as well as food. Normally every year we're able to actually like go meet with the kids and sit and talk to them. Of course, we can't do that this year, so it's very different, but we're hoping to be able to do like a virtual thing with them again as well when we do the actual giveaway of the coats. The plan, of course, is to continue this as long as we can, to make it as large as we can, and to give back as much as we can. So absolutely, especially when we get back to Texas and, you know, we're able to kind of get out and about more once COVID subsides. The goal is to make this as large as possible. I'm actually in the beginning steps of working on an auction as well. Gowns for Girls is the name of the auction. And it actually started as an idea. I had all these gowns from past red carpet events and I didn't have anything to do with them. You know, you can't really sell, like I'm like, okay, I can't really sell these what do I do with these gowns? So I thought, okay, I'm going to auction it off, and I'm going to give the proceeds to Carson Park, which is a girls' home in Houston, Texas, that I actually like to work with. Chester Pitts and his wife, Latoya, have started this girls group home where they are helping out girls who have like behavioral and, you know, psychological issues. And they would normally be like either in foster care or maybe even in like juvenile homes. They take these girls in, they feed them, they clothe them, they give them schooling, all of that in this Carson Park facility. So I've, you know, given to them before as far as like giving, you know, clothes or just giving money or whatever we can give to them. But I thought, let me try to do something with these gowns. I can auction them off and give them the proceeds. Well, I did that. I had other people get involved and they loved the idea. And now it's become something that's going to be so much larger. So we have a goal of $50,000 now. It started as just like this small idea that I had to give back. And now that we've gotten other people involved, it's grown. So the auction, the plan right now is for the auction to be in late January towards Super Bowl. We'll be auctioning off, you know, gala gowns, really nice dresses, and all the proceeds will go to Carson Park, which is the girls' home in Houston, Texas.
Wow, you literally are doing so many different things and giving back in so many different ways. It's almost like hard to keep up. Like I literally feel like you need to start like a blog or like a website specifically just for everything that you guys are working on. Is there a way that people can help get involved virtually with your foundation, whether it be through the website or donating money or helping out with the auctions? Where can people help out with your nonprofit?
Absolutely. You can go to aapetersonfamilyfoundation.org and you can donate there. As of right now, you know, we can't really come together to do anything, of course, but in the future, when we're able to come together again, absolutely, there'll be volunteer opportunities. You know, one thing that my husband definitely wants to get into is putting on football clinics in the future. He's done football clinics in the past, but we really want to, you know, scale that and make it larger and make it more available for kids. So absolutely, aapetersonfamilyfoundation.org is the website. You can go on to see some of the things that we've done in the past. And also there'll be more information added very soon on how you can get involved outside of donating. So, you know, we're hoping everything goes back to normal next year and we can put on our programs as normal and be able to get together and, you know, make a difference face to face with people.
And before we wrap up the show, you guys know that we're all about positive pop and of course, game day eats. So Ashley, I need to ask you, obviously you're a foodie, you like to cook. Game day eats. What do you like to cook for your husband, either post-game, pre-game, when you're just out with your girls? What are some of your favorite game day eats, whether it's a full meal or like a little snack that you like to put together for the kids?
Yeah, so actually we used to, after every game, we went out to eat. That was like our thing, to go out to eat after every game. Of course, now we can't do that. So I've just been cooking, and honestly, it just kind of depends on what I feel like cooking that day. Nothing in particular, really. My husband is not very picky, so you know, he likes to eat though. So I try to cook often, but like whatever I cook, he's okay with it pretty much, and he'll eat it and he never complains. So that's really good for me. I can't really think of anything necessarily that we just always have. We do love spaghetti. You know, all of us love spaghetti. That's one of our favorites. So we eat that a lot. And outside of that, I just kind of cook whatever we're feeling. Right now, it's a lot of like soupy type stuff, warm comfort food because it's so cold in Detroit. So that's what I've been kind of doing more lately. But before that, our tradition was to go out to eat after every game. That was just something we love to do together as a family.
That is some great game day eats. And I obviously love the tradition of you guys going out to eat. And positive pop. You already kind of gave us some positive pop a little bit earlier with having the right mindset and doing what you need to do to stay focused. What is your positive pop?
My positive pop, I would say reading my Jesus Calling every day. That is my positive pop, and I share it with a lot of people. It's so funny because it's like become this thing where I shared it with one of my friends, and then she began to share it with all these people. My mom actually sends out, if you don't read the Jesus Calling every day, you don't have to worry, because my mom sends a text every single day with the Jesus Calling devotional of the day. So I'm going to say that's my positive pop of the day. If you don't have that book by Sarah Young, get it. I highly suggest it. I love it.
And again, I love that you guys are very spiritual. You give back in a number of ways. I'm so happy that I had you on here today. Where can people follow you on social media, whether it be your husband's career, when you're traveling around, what your kids are up to, obviously your cosmetics company? Where can people continue to follow you on social media?
Absolutely. So Mrs. Ashley Peterson on Instagram, at Mrs. Ashley Peterson, at Miss Ash Peterson on Twitter, also on Instagram at Elizabella Cosmetics.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ashley. I fully enjoyed having you on here today. Look forward to having you on potentially in the future, maybe in the springtime, catch up with you, see what you guys are doing with your foundation and how you guys are doing with your off season. You are absolutely stunning. Happy holidays. And I cannot wait to talk to you again in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I really enjoyed it. And hopefully one day we'll get to meet in person.
That would be awesome. Thank you.